Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the City of Palatka City Commission meeting on March 27th, 2025 at 6 p.m. We're going to call the meeting to order, starting with the invitation from Pastor Marbury, the Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Jones.
Let us look to God. Father, again, we thank you for how good you have been. You brought us together once again, and we say thank you. Pray your blessing upon this meeting on tonight. Pray, God, that you will guide us, lead us, give direction, instructions, and all that we undergird you for you. Pray, God, that you will look on this. That that's right. God, that situation. Bless on her now. In the name of Jesus. Father, we thank you once again for all that you're doing. God, the city continues to move us forward. Bless the leadership here. Give them vision, Lord. Give them what to do. Give them how to do it. Yes. Give them wisdom. Give them praise you and thank you. It is in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have the roll call, please.
Commissioner Davis.
Present.
Commissioner Young.
Present.
Commissioner Jones.
Yeah.
Commissioner Warren.
Present.
Thank you. On to approval of minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity? February 2025 state home meeting minutes, February 24, 2025 special meeting minutes, and the 13th, 2025 regular meeting.
Motion to approve said minute.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposition? Thank you. On to public. Employee of the month, Ms. Jones.
Madam Mayor and Commissioners, thank you for this opportunity once again. As we continually move forward to recognize an employee each month here at the City of Palatka for the duties that they're performing within their job and outside of their job. So that we can recognize them and let them know that either community as well as their co-workers, leadership, looking at what they're doing, and we'd like to recognize for the month of March, Mr. Courtney James.
All right. I'm gonna be a long speech because he's on 3rd Street, so I'm have to talk about 2 minutes.
About to bring you back up.
Mr. Courtney James, at the end of the day, Mr. Courtney James has been a support. We have a lot of events, a lot of things that go on throughout the city, every day. And for the most part, Courtney James is when they call the doors, the tables, put chairs. Several the commissioners and several of the people in the city have sent emails, calendars of how outstanding job that they have done. So I think this reward was very forthcoming. We have a wonderful team over there, but Courtney and Jessica and Reno is right. And trying to talk long. He actually had another opening before we got there. So he don't know about that. So Courtney,
Timing.
So. They want to know about the blue crab and so.
Now you pull on.
But no, actually.
No, we have to.
Outstanding work recording. You want to say anything? I can't talk about blueprint. You're very welcome, but you can say a few things about the blueprint if you like.
No.
Not yet, please. No, no. He's got some photos.
Okay.
Can somebody take it?
The hard work that you have been doing. I really appreciate you getting this on. You deserve it.
All right. All right.
Thank you. Week. Autism spectrum. States affecting 1 in 36 children is an urgent public health crisis that demands a national response. And we're in Zeta USA, the chapter of Zeta. It's dedicated to the Zeta that provides no research and funds for persons of color who are impacted by the spectrum disorder. Where currently no identified cause of autism, Zeta devoted to promoting solutions across the spectrum throughout the lifespan for the needs of individuals with autism families. We're the growing impact of autism spectrum disorder and the great leaders' vision is to allow people of color affected by the state to ensure autism education and funding. Worldwide social health justice, excuse me. Whereas Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Surrounding incorporating practice presentation autism acceptance to support the autism community. Zeta chapter is honest to participate in the annual observation of autism acceptance month and World Autism Awareness Day, fostering greater awareness, understanding, and attention of individuals with autism. Now, the we're playing that same operating hereby recognize April 2nd, 2025, World Autism Day, and recognize April 2025 Autism Awareness Month in the state of California. The raise public awareness of autism spectrum disorder and autism, as well as to increase knowledge of programs that have been and are being developed to support autistic individuals and their families. Motion.
So move. A second.
We have a motion, a second, all in favor? Aye. Would the ladies like to come up, please?
You talking?
You come on, stand up. I would like to say a few
Well, we'd like to say thank you for the city of Palatka for recognizing us and recognizing autism awareness, because it is a growing epidemic in all the communities. So we definitely would like everyone's support. We do have an event on the 2nd of April for the community, and we would love for everyone to come out to support the event. And it's going to be
It's like still on this Central June and 5:30 to 6:30.
Yes, so any family that you know that may need any type of assistance, any type of, guidance on how to, when they get that diagnosis, on how they can continue to grow and help each other, we would love for them to come out so we can give that information out to them and support them.
Anytime.
Future administrative reports, community as presentation.
I talk like Sonic. Wow, watch you load that up, y'all. I just want to say, this is the community fair. It was a 90-day report. It turned out to be 120 days. I was for that. I'm sorry, I didn't send it out. I read about a little snap out of what we got going on. Even though we have renovations going on in Jenkins, we have a lot of things that we have worked around the renovations. And I think so. So this is just some of the renovations going on. The MIE doing the contract that we got hired to do some stuff, and these are some of the daily pictures of them there. We're doing some more. Extra slides right there, continue. All right, so now the gym floor, we have the temporary done to the gym floor. We've been utilizing it for open gym and other programs in the gym, and we have a lot of things going on in our session. That's like open gym night where the kids come in and they shoot Tuesday and Thursday from 4 to 8. We have open gym for the older kids, and on Wednesday, we have the kids coming in. That's right. And we had a partnership or a relationship with some of the high schools when they play some of the games in the gym. And also we had a partnership with Kyle that plays the games. Fires and special event department. These are some of the events that we've done throughout the years. In November, you can go to in November, we have had some food drives, we have the Bridge Club at Price Morton Center. We have done some community engagement events. Plaza 76 does a food drive. Next slide. These are the events that we had through November. I can go through them, but I know y'all gotta read your package. It's a long night, so I'm not gonna overwhelm y'all, but this was our spring festival where the mayor made me eat food that I didn't want to eat.
Well, I forced him, absolutely.
She decided that she was vegan or pescatarian or whatever. All right, next slide. We had our Jingle Jam celebration, which we had about 35 come out through there. We was on Jacksonville TV station. We also, the bottom one is the name of the fields over at Booker Park. We had a great turnout for that. Next one. January, that picture that you seen earlier, supposed to be recorded, that's supposed to be the bridge and the meetings over there, but we put a template in there just in case. Next slide. We had a golf tournament in February. It was excellent turnout. The breakout was like 13,000 some change. The city got 5,000 some change. So great turnout. It was actually one of the biggest ones we had since I've been here. Palatka Thomas and I, we had 100 golfers, 20 some teams. It was a wonderful event. We actually got a couple of pictures of Chief Pro in the tree. In the tree. Next slide. Next slide. The mayor's reception, and in one of the packages, they put you had a recommendation of doing a wonderful job. It was the mayor's reception. It was a wonderful turnout. They had a lot of wonderful faces there. My staff was there dressed and dressed. They don't look like that on day-to-day basis, but they look nice there. We had the Bath Elite Tournament also going to the Azalea Festival. So these are some things that we have done throughout the next class. This is some of the runners we have that we had going on through Price One Center. So we had concessions, we had independent living, Price One, American Best Package, Bridge Club is down on a monthly basis. Meet the candidates at Price One and the PPD Crime Watch Prevention program. This is not a special event team. This is a team event, all the events that come through the city. We come to class and say, hey, yeah, Nate, you go or don't go before we bring it to y'all. So this is actually a wonderful group of guys. We work together. Wonderful group of people. We have females in that too. So correct. I want no email from nobody. Next slide. Recognition. Keep going. All right, so this is our chess club. We have right now 17 kids signed up. On average, we have about 9 to 13 on average. From 8, 5, all the way up to 14. And it's going pretty well. Actually looking at growing it into the summer. Next slide. We had Dante Wickerson, I think his last name is. He helped us lead our HBCU team talk. We had one summit this past summer, and we're gonna do another summit this fall. That's right. And that's the picture from it. You can see a couple people in there that looks out on the guy on the far right. With the Tennessee stuff on. Next slide. Now, we're actually implementing a senior program. We have a few seniors that come every Wednesday. They talk and fill up phones and have some coffee and some cookies. What's really close? Let me make you jump. And now we actually gonna start doing chair aerobics and also health and meditation. That and they do like it's our Afro-American mission team that we put together to kind of get the study for the history of the museum, and hopefully y'all both come tonight. And this is one of the presentations that they had. Next slide. Black football, one of the best coaches in America in that picture. He actually went 0-4. It was actually the kids' fault behind it. Next. These are the programs that's coming up now. We're gonna do arts and crafts. That's gonna be on afternoon. We're also teaching kids how to do music, art, jazz, theater classes. T-ball. It's gonna be a clinic instead of a lead because we only had like 30 kids signed up. Excellent. This is for city staff and any community members that want to join. We're gonna do a 90-day challenge starting in 2 weeks. And if you've been in the Mayor's Challenge and other challenges we have had, it's the same format where you're gonna wade in. It's gonna be a secret among me and if they do a public record request, I got other than that, it's a national program later. So hopefully we get everybody engaged and going. If you see this flyer, use the QR code to sign up, and we're gonna get started in April. Next slide. The neighborhood improvement team that we're putting together to kind of fight out. Bring it back.
You left out the line dancing.
If you let the slide keep going, okay, go back one. Go back one.
Go back.
We also received, because this, if you look for and don't. The line dancing was in March.
So next report.
But just be on it, and I don't want no hurt feelings. We have line dancing on Monday nights.
We do.
6:30 is beginners and toddlers. 6:30 to 7:30 is the dance and, boots on the ground. Please come, we have a good instructor and then we have a great assistant. They help keep that instructor is greatest. Leads the class. That's why he's great. All right. The next challenge, as you go, the neighborhood improvement team is something we put together to kind of help with Commissioner Campbell and all the commissioners' vision of trying to fight some of this crime and things we have in this community and some of the issues that we're dealing with. This team is made up of several staff members, and once we get it vetted, we're gonna present it to Ms. Carter for her to present it to y'all. And then we're gonna bring some outside community leaders involved with it too. But it's to actually take a bite out of the apple, a bite out of the elephant, one bite at a time, and work on neighborhood by neighborhood and start and try to get engaged with some of the problem and of the root of the problem, not just bad. Next slide. We go to- And I can say bye, bye, bye. But there's the code enforcement, next slide. These are the cases we had throughout the month. Next slide. These are the testers for the demos that we did. Next slide. That would be it. Thank you all for giving me time. Look forward to my hopefully 90-day report.
I just wanted to thank you, man. And you and your team, y'all have done just a fabulous job with everything you've done across your whole spectrum of services to the city. And so code enforcement on down, you certainly help shine the gym with the same job.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. And all I ask is just continue to support, continue to be the beacon that I need to help bring this city back to the gym to go.
Thank you. Project updates, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Randy.
Good evening. I'm Carlos Dominguez Rito, project manager in the city of Palatka. And I'm here to explain this project that we currently have in the city. So first, we're going to start with the advanced project. And the first job we have is Madison Street, the railroad. This project is divided in two parts. The first part is portable streetscape, and Madison is the part water treatment plant of upgrades. On the first corner, replacing 2,100 liters of plastic water mains with plastic. We start our hydrants, gate valves, and water service. On the second part, we are upgrading the pumps, the service pumps, and the water treatment plant. We received around 1.25 million from San John's River Water Management District, along with the city. First part is expected to be completed March 2025. And the second part is expected to be completed December 2025. The second project that we have is Humboldt Park Improvement Phase 1. This project will include a dog park, picnic facilities, walking trail, new signage, landscaping, and new irrigation system. We received $50,000 from FDEP and is expected to be completed by 2025. The third one is Choba Park renovation project, phase 1. This upgrades, this is going to be an upgrade tanks and basketball courts, place parking lot, take good time and trash bins. We received also $50,000 from FDEP and is expected to be completed 2025. The next one is Jenkins Auto. This project includes roof repairs, HVAC replacement, fire suppression, security upgrades, ADA improvement, and creation of a fitness center and concession stand. We received $603,000 from DOS, along with some funds that we have received from total of around $1.19 million, and it's expected to be completed by 2025. The next one is affordable housing. This project will increase affordable housing through land acquisition, home repairs, and construction of new homes. On the part of commerce, and it's expected to be completed by 2026. Right, is downtown specific action plan. This plan is funding a 5-year plan to revitalize We received $40,000 from Department of Forest, which is expected to be completed by May 2025. Next one is comprehensive plan. This plan is funding technical assistance for the city's evaluation and appraisal report and subsequent comprehensive plan updates. We received $75,000 from the Department of Forest and is expected to be completed by May 2025. Next one is plan for sewer collection resiliency master plan. Is to develop a master plan to modernize the city's wastewater system to ensure a long-term sustainability and $385,000 from CDBG on December 2025. Next, Bronson House, restore deteriorated exterior wood, replace the structural components, install security lighting, and enforce repairs. We received $367,000 from the Department of State along with some city funds, and it's expected to be completed by January 2026. The next one, fire station wind retrofit. This project will include the upgrade of bay doors, windows, and glass with hurricane-grade materials. We received around $208,000 from some city funds and it's expected to be completed by January 2026. Next, we will have a list of some additional other projects that we currently are working on grants. Non-grants project. First, we will start with the repurposing program. The project will involve pavement, milling, repurposing, and application of the backhoe to improve road safety and durability in the north side. We have increased $2.4 million expected to be done in January 2023. The next one is road improvement of local grid 1517. This is also part of the repurposing program, but in here it's also going to include the utilities and also the styles. These departments will want to for repurposing program.
Sorry. Hang on, hold, but do you want us to ask questions after you pass?
That's okay.
Okay.
That's fine. Thank you. It's expected to be completed on December 2025. Next one is Hank Bryan Restrooms. It's to develop ADA accessible bathrooms in a storage area with necessary utility connection and site operation. With a cost of $35,000, it's expected to be done by the budget with the so it's done. Next one is flashback. Flashback on Riverfront. On April, we are expecting to have a technical memorandum, and by March 2026, we're expected to have a project completed. The cost of each project allocated is $325,000. And it's expected the first part is expected to be done. The technical memorandum is expected to be done on April 2025, and the project is expected to be completed in March 2023. Next one is River Street retaining wall. This is a study to determine if we need to rehabilitate or replace 331 linear feet of retaining wall on River Street. The cost of this project is around $128,000, and it's expected to be completed by June 2025. Then we'll have a list of additional non-grants projects listed in there, but we are also currently working on. Any questions?
No, obviously, Commissioner Johnson, some questions of this.
I do.
I mean, on Sprito.
The first one, going back to the affordable housing initiative. We
Mhm.
put it back up. Initiative, it says that, and I know we're gonna, the plan is to acquire some land to build homes on, to help people with down payment assistance, as well as help residents bring their costs up to code.
Mhm.
My question is, if the city already have some land, are we planning to use some of the land that the city currently owns?
Oh, answer that.
Part of the plan, because it will save us on acquiring other land.
Yes, sir. I'll answer that for you. We did have a concern and we did present to the grantor if we could use property that we had already purchased. uh, Because that, what they want is when we looked at the grant specifications, we need to actually purchase new property. But we are also hoping that he will reevaluate that, but this is where we are as of this moment. I'm gonna ask legal because I did have to do some research.
Correct. We have at least 6 properties identified as part of the Live Local Act, the legislation that was passed several years ago. If anyone goes to the City of Palatka website, you'll see the exact property locations for those parcels. I did some research to determine if those parcels would meet the grant criteria, so we wouldn't have to do exactly what you said. So expenses of funds for the acquisition of property that we actually already own for residential and affordable housing purposes. Unfortunately, it doesn't like the grant criteria for that. We're gonna continue working on that, but in the meantime, we have applied 2 parcels that are in the process of acquiring that grant criteria.
Yeah, I just thought that it would be advantageous to leverage property that we already own so that you probably can do more with this amount of money. Because $2 million is not gonna go too far.
Yep.
But if we had property already, it looked like it would be advantageous for us to do so. That's my first question.
We do agree with you, but unfortunately, thus far, they have not agreed with that. They want the property to be purchased with their funds. But we just don't have.
They'll be purchasing it from the city.
I know, we said the same thing, but we will continue to pursue it.
Please do, and keep the update on that. That was the first question, yes. So the second question I have is in reference to the 2 million that we have for
Resurfacing program.
resurfacing project, resurfacing the roads
Mhm.
that really need it. And I know that last budget cycle, money was taken out to go to Oak Street because they had some emergency repairs that needed to be done.
Mhm.
Now, this Oak Street is back here again to get more funding. How is that and why is that? Because it's gonna take away from the 2.4 million. And why is that happening?
Okay, we did do some research on that. I would prefer to come back to answer it more specifically, but what I did have staff pull was the agenda item itself. And the agenda item did identify that it was a part of the section in the north, but I would like to come back with a better and more complete response.
Yes, because I remember I was looking
Yes, we did.
Jackie, my last commissioner meeting from before I was here in the city. And the commissioner instructed the city to go and proceed with Oak Street in a part is 2.4.
We looked at
We can just look at the minutes again.
So- I don't know if the rest of the commission, they were doing the railroads to the St. John's Avenue
Yes.
project. And so they diverted from that project and there was $1 million that we had. And that's why we didn't do any more road projects on the north side. So they diverted that money to go to Oak Street because it was obviously it was like a need at that time. It was no emergency. But the 2.4 was, that's an allocation. I'm not right.
Well, Commissioner, if you would permit us to pull the information again, we did pull it. I just don't have it as memory. But when we pulled it, what we saw is the actual writing of the books that the paper that we looked at in the commission meeting.
Yes.
But it actually referred to the 2.4, that's what they're to say, oh, so that's a part of the 2.4, but we will research it again for you.
Okay,
We did, research.
and I noticed that it is no cost. We don't know what that's actually gonna cost, if that work, how much it costs. I would like to know the estimated cost of that project.
On the Oak Street?
We
Oh,
have it there.
50 to 70, yes, it wasn't under, unless I missed it.
Yes, and I think it's going to be around 400,000.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I did.
Yes,
thought we
it's
were-
around that.
So in essence, I get it, I do get it. So that's.
A part of
It's
it,
gonna be on the.
Yes.
part of it.
Thank
Because we did the research, because we were confused, yeah.
That's where the 400,000, I remember they took 400,000,
Yeah.
but it was from,
Mhm.
that makes more sense. I
Yes,
just
sir.
wanna make sure we're not going over 400,000. That.
Right, well, yeah, and remember, we have where the commissioners voted.
Yes, yes, we have the meeting.
Then the minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
Carlos. Thank you for being thorough.
Anyone else have any questions?
Just one, question with the South 12th and 13th in River Street, that park. There, did you give, I know you had, supposed to have meetings with the area residents. Just trying to figure out where we are with that piece of it.
You talked about the Chubbuck Park? Is that one?
No, South 12, 13 and River Street. Remember that park over there is pretty.
Oh, the little
And it-
park, as you go up River Street on the incline.
It's not representative. You know. I think we talked about,
Yeah.
That's not it.
We don't have.
That's not-
That's what it is. That park right there, since I took over parks from Mr. Joe, Mr. Clayton, one of the parks guys, we're actually working on that now. And we looking to renovate something. So when the park is set, a lot of wash in the rain, have that in your bloody snow. I'll try to, the plan is to try to lift the surface a little bit, kind of level out. So we can help. Out there. It used to be a garden. The plan is to put some more TLC in that area. Right.
and the other question was that we include the residents in the area. So we put something back in there. The composition of the community changes. And so we don't want to put, playgrounds, we got a lot. So you want the recreation to fit.
The demographics.
For the most part.
Yes, and once we clean it out, before we put anything new in there, we're gonna have town hall meetings in all the local parks that we have. Try to get a chance to be caught up, get everything clean.
Certainly appreciate it. And then the one last thing on the, when we have these updates, then that's really good. I like that. But then we also put like the line, the line out of the bullet from sort of county at least. And what's left. That way we have a better understanding. Updates, we can understand. Okay. Thank you.
Any additional questions? Go ahead.
For the splash pad, the $375,000 for the project,
Yes,
does
ma'am.
that include installing it? Or is that
This is-
maintenance ongoing, or what is the fix?
This price right now is the amount of money we have allocated for the project, the city have allocated for the project. We're in the process of getting some quotes,
Okay.
getting some guidance.
Okay.
For them to do like.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. You have one more question? Go ahead.
One more, yes, one more. Well, and it's pertaining to just any of our projects, because in the past, we've always had projects that never really, when they were projected at whatever amounts, a lot of times it went well over that amount. And so that's why I communicate that. But anyways, we need to start having some turnkey projects where we finish them on time and we also finish them on or under budget, if we can do that. So
Yes.
that's where I think we need to start, putting our focus and effort. Not running over all the time. These are tax dollars that are being burned up.
Thank you.
City Manager report?
Yes, the first thing I wanted to is thank Carlos for that project update. That was the and to the commissioners, I don't think we've done that one. So thank you for that effort, and thank you for working with them. As relates to verbal report, the first thing I'd like to do is recognize that we have a thank director. And welcome.
City of Palatka.
Thank you.
Want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Can you go to the podium so we can place?
Again, Peter Kayokas, current Director of Finance for the City of Palatka. I came from, I was there for a couple of weeks. I was on probationary and I was there because of the job. But I worked for different cities and the state of Florida. Most of the time as a Director of Finance. Worked for City of Boynton Beach. Worked for the town of Bay Harbor Islands and City of Neptune Beach as a finance. As well as employed with City of National as a passive control. I have 2 city licenses, they call that one, state of Florida, state of Colorado. I get from the Florida, beautiful daughter right here. I had to go get it. And well, but mostly from University of Wisconsin, Green Bay, and master's point on it from on top of that, I have mechanical engineering, agriculture. That's part about me. If you have any other questions, I want to anytime. I look forward
You worked a lot of jobs, so total years of experience would be
to. In government, about 10.
government finance.
Yeah, about 10 years of experience with government, but also I've been employed as an engineer. Employed. On Wisconsin.
Great, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Welcome.
Welcome aboard. Thank you, sir.
He neglected to say that under 2 of those cities, he did work to achieve the certificate of excellence in financial reporting and also in budgeting. And that's one of our primary goals for the finance department. So we're hopeful that he will help us get there within the next year.
Great.
Code enforcement, just to give an update, has now right, and planning director, Mr. Lorenzo. State RISE solution will be operative for what the commissioners did or will be doing starting April 1st, 2025.
Yay.
The riverfront, we have already commenced a feasibility study, as Mr. Carlos mentioned. And hopefully that will be done by the end of April, so we can know for sure how to move forward with that project. Also, the north side, that 2.4 million, we have currently been able to get to safety. It's already gone out, so that means we'll be starting very soon. Like, work will be done in this section. Additionally, we have 20 staff members throughout the city that is now enlisted in leadership. 13 built employees so that they can advance up the ranks within the city. Public Works building, would you like Mr. Jones?
Yeah, just a quick update. The CERN was at about 75% for our drawings. We're hoping that in the next 2 months, it'll be at 95%. They have worked with the contractor, like I had told Commissioner Jones last week, they're gonna work together to try to keep the build within our budgetary restraints, which is amazing. That's gonna be able to do. So we can move forward as soon as they're done with the prints. We're hoping 2 more months. Then we're gonna release, start, have some better news about as far as our, so we're excited about that.
Thank you. Now we finance check. So hopefully this will be time, Mr. Peter. We have the finance director first. Well, let's spend from the annual budget is 76,777,000. Has now been received in revenues and 19% we have spent for today in expenses. We had a 41.7%, but a lot of these city budget and transactions are based upon grants. So operationally, we're doing, all this, yeah, more with, that- that's kind of stressing, and under the other one, the stars. Not that one, man. No, you tell me it was something.
Before, should be before.
No, so. Go ahead, sorry. Okay, so, for revenues citywide, we've seen. For expenditures, spent, thank you. Spent so as of February 2025. Results is that we have $3,200,000 more than expenses. So this is the first month also that we are presenting financials as requested on a monthly basis. And we prepare presentation as speakers settle in. With general fund, we have actually received $5,042,000. Yeah, $7 million. And some for general fund is population at a current price for the moment of $2 billion. Airport fund has received $833,000 and we spent $595,000. So airport has generated more revenue than expenses as of this time, $238,000 more. The ARPA funds, we've only spent $162,000 of the ARPA funds. Next page, please. Of course, we've generated 55,000, they've spent 46,000, so the golf course has a positive of $9,000. Next page. The Better Place, so this is where we have the challenge place. And say 714,000, but we spent 1,192,000. Both of that was, there was an unexpected expenditure dealing with a county related matter, and the amount was about 400,000. So it's we received more revenues from discretionary surtax funds. I expect that deficit to be covered. With sanitation, we've realized 1,523,000. We spent 1,200,000, so we're at a profit, or at least have more revenue than expensive. 300,000. Next, utility fund generated 4,244,000. We spent 3,970,000. So, small margin, but it's still profitable. 274,000. And tax increment, we received 931,000. We've only spent 1,000,000. The reason for that is a lot of the funds that were allocated were supposed to be for State Street. There's also the potable water. So as those projects are starting, then you start spending more money from the TIF funds. And so the most important thing is at this point, for the 5 months and the 1 month ended February 28th, 2025, the city has generated $3 million more than its expenses. Any questions, please?
Anybody have any questions?
I have one. What is the reserve sitting at right now?
So the reserves are sitting at. Page here.
In here.
Fund, it's at 5,576,000.
Okay, but what percentage?
23.6%. And to that point, the governmental funds, the requirement is 16.7%. So we are exceeding the recommendation.
Okay. And on the Better Place plan piece, where we talked about it before, where the city is the county seat and we generate more funds than in the state. We, a portion that we get, I don't think is representative of, the funding that we receive. I know they had this rate, this, I guess, calculation once that
Yes.
sometime, and we tried to go back and revisit that, but, we look at that and see
Okay.
how, because we generate quite a bit here in the city of Palatka.
Yes,
But it
sir.
all, it goes to other municipalities.
I will look into that. I know exactly what you were referring to, the surtax.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions, Ms. Connie? Go.
I do have a question. Was the streetlight study removed from the agenda for the report?
Oh, that's supposed to stay on. there?
I had it.
Yeah, it's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda?
Yes. and,
Okay, but not in this section.
So either Chief Shaw or Assistant Chief.
Oh, no, it's not in this section.
It was on the verbal.
It's on verbal?
It was.
It was under you, yes, but.
Okay. You put the one-
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's a presentation.
Yeah.
Good evening, guys. So this is our second, update for the, loan study that we did a couple of meetings ago. I reached you guys what we had done so far. And go through the entire city. One thing to be aware of is when we're dealing with the FPL street lighting, FPL only covers from the river to pump. So it's where it's on three would actually be covered. But, so we'll get into that one once we get further into this. But to update you guys, we have completed the staffing study. By 283 locations. So stating that we brought the city at where we called it two zones. So zone number one would have been St. John's Avenue with all roadways to the north. And St. John's all roadways to the south. Significantly larger signs. And college study, I had about 45 portions of the tree line and discuss what were our best options for the three categories that we had identified. We had 5 categories for this study. So our speed, what to do. The second was hotspot areas, and then the third was low areas. So zone one, we identified in zone one 32 high crime areas. Now, how we identified the high crime areas where we're probably versus 5 crime. So that's the definition for not area. We things go off in different neighborhoods from time to time. So we repeated a little bit here. So that's what we're identifying for our hotspot areas. And then movement areas are just when we're driving through at night and we see a dark area. Even though it's got a 5,000 lumen LED light, it's still dark. So we identified all of those. In zone one, we have 32 recommended, 32 areas that we recommend. Based on with the they recommended that we go with a light called an ATV2 LED light, which would provide 33,000 at each one. This could repeat to it. There was fixed, and that would be a recommendation for a 17,000. And over areas a recommendation for a 12,000 bulb. Now these are directional LED lights, they're not made for a white, where the light just goes in that direction. They start to go straight to the post. If we count these lights and if it's determined that it's kind of equals hours or lighting their things, FPL will put up shields to keep the light away. And free, they're just not constant. One thing to note is that the high primary bulb recommendation for the 33,000. Those are multiple states. That so. So time two, we have 11 high primary. 46 hospitals and 176 low lit areas. And a lot of those low lit areas were pretty dark. Thing is I think already some two significant larger was the more so steps for us would be to obtain a cost analysis from FPO on what it's now no cost to put the bulbs up. They will replace those bulbs at no cost. Where the cost comes into play is there's a 10-year life expectancy on the current bulbs that we have, and most of those have only been up for 4 or 5 years. So pretty sure all three to keep their. So I've already sent them our recommendation for the areas that we have identified. Addresses as well as poll numbers, because every poll has a specific number set here to FPL's identification purposes. And once you start working on that confidence so that members have to evaluate considers that would take a few months until March report, and then they get check for themselves and there's on how long people. The second point would be to obtain approval for the replacement of the lines based on the confidence. We have to redo our current street light. Yeah, that's a I'll be confident. It's the time to do something different. To FPL, areas we're going to do additional lighting, and FPL orders the lights and then gets them installed. That takes, according to them, about 8 months. Recommendation, police department as well as the FPL standard is we break this up into 3 spaces. To do like then hotspot areas and then here. Where bulbs up at whereas and then prioritize install of this.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Just thank him for
Thank
that
you.
comprehensive
Great job.
report.
Thank you.
It's excellent, excellent report. Thank you.
With that, I'm going to open the call to public comment. Please limit your public comments to 3 minutes. Please be respectful and courteous. And first, we have a comment, Mr. Clark.
Tavares, Clark, Palatka, Florida. Is it different how y'all do the scrimmage down here? Is a difference with the scrimmage area? The city used the scrimmage area on me. And I was treated bad. County Road, they come to there with the scrimmage area. They changed the address, and I have a question. Last city commission meeting, water and sewage already on that property. You turn the property around, it was 3 parcels was on Creel Avenue, but not in County Smith, wrong. But it's already so it's water already property. The county got no permit for the work order. The city ain't got no permit for no work order. But it's scrimmage there. You take the conflict off of it. So y'all use the scrimmage there where you can add, you can track, the way the city. The scrimmage there, y'all see me wrong. And this what y'all did. When they come in here with scrimmage there, y'all see the whole difference. You also know about this, I can call it the truth out. That last one we took it. It's a public record. It's right.
I know it's not Jen, you have time, it's up to you.
Yeah, I wanna know about my group thing. The thing is, what y'all to resolve it.
We are in public comment, we after the public comment concludes, then there'll be, then we can respond to you.
So you're gonna answer all the questions? And
We're
then,
gonna-
oh yeah. and
Excuse
what-
me, this is not a give and take, please just finish your public comment.
Why y'all like to do that to me? I wanna ask you, nice, why every time I come?
Because public comments are public.
Why you rush me off before my time? You do this every time. If I show up, first thing y'all gonna do, and lock him up. But when y'all disrespect me, I got to accept it. So, I think that's right.
Yeah, question, you was gonna ask a question.
No, no, no.
Thank you. Is there else here for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Commissioner and staff response. Sorry. Mr. Pickles. Thank you.
Rescue Rickers, 207 North 18th Street, Palatka, Florida. Thank you. And first, I want to say, welcome to Palatka as the city manager.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I have a lot to talk about, but I found solutions to it by sitting, listening to Matt. That Mr. Cut right. So I had to talk to Bill about it. I said I could get it done with him. Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You just blew his head off.
Too big now.
Is there anybody else here for public comment? Seeing none, close public comment. We can move on to Commissioner and staff response.
Yes,
Ms. West.
well, before Ms. West, I'm just gonna say something that, Mr. Clark have made several attempts to reach me to schedule the appointment. They let the things happen. So hopefully, I just sent an email. And that's the meeting, we hope. That, someone can try to meet with us on the board, not the city, or stand way with us, so.
Okay.
May, would you like to address the?
I
location?
will, I didn't, yes. So, basically, Mr. Clark raised concern about my involvement or lack of involvement with the, percentage fund. I changed any of my LLC names. I personally have, you can look this up on Summit. I have two, Lemon Street Market and Mercantile LLC for my pocket downtown, and Roberta Correa LLC for my real estate. Never changed those names. They have been that way since prior to me becoming mayor. I have no involvement with any financial way or any way possible with the lead swap of the data center. Honestly, I don't even use Mr. Douglas for a closing attorney for real estate things. So I have had no involvement in any way, gained financially in any way, just to clarify. Now, I'm sure we make and I'm sure it's not question of integrity, which I take deep offense at. Thank you. comments? Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
We're gonna move on to the center.
I'm sorry, I do need, the director of planning, has requested that six A be moved from the consent agenda to regular business. And Karen.
And there was a request by the applicant to put through Karen. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's the next 11. Yeah. He wants it pulled from the agenda and put on a future agenda.
Public hearing.
I thought it was just.
That's public hearing.
Oh, is that- I'm sorry. That's my fault. Yeah, you're right. It's on the public hearing. So. Yeah, what's that? We're just moving to regular business. Items.
Oh, we haven't gone through consent, yet.
We got him.
We haven't gone through consent.
That's what
Okay.
And we'll be to regular business.
So after K is coming on?
Wait, no.
No, that's my fault. Let me go back and correct. That is my. This point.
H and I.
We've got it when it comes to the public.
Anyone else have one? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we set the consent agenda excluding items A, which will be moved to the regular
Public
Public
hearing.
hearing.
Public hearing.
public hearings,
Yes.
H and I.
Second.
Aye.
Thank you. Yes. Adoption resolution 2044 approving.
Yes, we, it's this conversation. Church service program, we try to at least a couple office spaces in Jenkins. In our workshop that we had, last Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, we discussed this in detail,
We have a slide actually for this item.
just trying to figure out what.
It's in here. It's on our packet.
It's under, 6H.
You got it up there?
Should have there.
I pulled it, I must,
Can you, yeah, let us
for
know.
the sake of, the knowledge that I pulled it. I was not in chambers and we had technical difficulties. I did not. I could not interact, ask questions, that I had about the particulars in SCP. I see the slide, I would know better. Here's the question that I have, and before, I didn't see the answer when I looked at the fact, question was, where do we get the cost estimation in the fair market plans? Not fair market rents as we find profit, but to be consistent with leasing rental spaces to whether profit, excuse me, for profit or nonprofits at a rate of $9 per square foot for commercial leasing. It seems rather low, and there's several questions that I have that was not addressed in this lease that I saw in this package. So maybe I can get it addressed. Maybe that's it. Did it in the first. This was that there will be 3 office spaces in the Jenkins Center.
Correct. Lease
Monthly at $300 a month each, which brings us to 3 offices at $900. Correct? Am I correct so far?
Yes.
Plus a conference center added in, which is an additional $400, which brings a total of $1,300 Grand total. For at least 3 offices in a. Conference room. Okay. $9 per square foot.
That right there is not at $9 a square foot. That is actually, recommendation of what they bring to the community. It's not kind of right about $2. But at least they came from is what they was paying there. So we tried to find someone to keep it at that state. $9 square foot would make that roughly around about $1,800. If you 325 square footage by 900. 420. And that right there, that part of the region needs the church, I mean, it's trying to serve them. So the, trying to find the, actual percentage, which is charged $300 per across the board. So anybody coming out and get a facility will pay $300.
Okay. So. We also, because Ms. West actually kind of gave us a quote, gave me a quote the other day on facility leases that we have already in place. If for one facility for a day, one day, some of our facilities cost $100 per day. This lease makes sense for $300 for space for 30 days. For 300. So all in essence, you could lease, if I want to lease, let's say, price party for 3 days. That's $300. I'm just using round numbers because I think it's more than that. It's $300 for 3 days. But we're gonna actually lease square footage of a office for 30 days for $300. 3 days, 30 days. That's a lot. When you break it down, like speaking to the business community, and have purchased buildings for lease or profit. So we're competing, they cannot compete with that. That type of break to lease their office space. So I think we should be considered that because that's not what we're in the business doing. In addition to that, what about utilities? Is there utility split that they get? So
Everything will be inside that $300.
So they get
$1,300 a month.
So they get free lights, free water, and free internet, which is costly in the end of the.
Well, internet on that side of the building would be up under their house. They would have to get their own internet. We don't have internet on that side of the building. But we can look at this again. Again, part of the thing was bringing a service to the community. Communicate the fair market, fair market value for the price. That's what I'm here for the guidance.
You got it.
But at the end of the day, either you want us to bring services to this community or you want to bring profit to it.
I feel we discussed it before. And start service to the community. Secondly, office space. Also the location. So comes vary from location and office space for some of the business people you're speaking on campus or not the main road with a lot of traffic, that's going to bring people to it for the space. We're talking on the space. So, but again, we're not in the business to make money in the city. We need to offset some of our costs, no argument about that, but we're here to provide services to the community. And this sounds like a key service provided. So. The commission can do. That's
We
just the
had
last
this,
one.
we had this discussion at least.
Again, fellow commissioners and director, I tried to attend the meeting. I didn't hear these points, and I have a portion. And rather it may hit a sore spot, but I want the answers. And I want to bring it out in the public what we're doing so we will know. Because it's nothing like better than understanding. Because when I get phone calls, I don't know if you get them, I guess you don't. When someone is asking for the same thing. So when we as we make it clear, right here today, when someone else come and ask for the same lease agreement, that we're able to accommodate. That's all I'm saying. And that's fair across the board. It's not gonna be it's an exception. There's no exception. If this is what we're doing, we're gonna do it. And you need to look at how we are leasing our other buildings, you know? So I just wanna make it. It matters to me because we're talking about taxpayer dollars. Now, in that lease, is that tax included on that or not? I just want, this is a question. This is a question, because don't say it in the lease. Is it?
There's $300 a month per room, and $400 for the conference room. And it's for community, for organizations that brings the service of what needs to the community. They say they want to rent it, just have office space to fill tenancy. Then we will look at a situation where we would family. If they come in there and give a need to the community, then we will give them the same everything. This can be brought to you about the need to the community. And if y'all feel that whoever comes in there, it's a need to the community, they would the same rate.
May I interject?
Go ahead, Commissioner Day. Go ahead.
May I interject?
Yeah.
I think one of the points that we as staff did not pick up based upon the recommendation that we received from the workshop. And just realizing it now, you all did, it seemed like you did agree to that $9 square feet. However, I think what we neglected to do was to have a form or something that says, okay, if we apply that $9, that's gonna work out at program. Because we are bringing services to the community, you know, we weren't able to $300.
It's actually a little bit more complicated than
Yes, and
that. We actually are in agreement with the physical services. I agree that was agreed to by the former city manager, Troy Valley, acting rights. We have an unsecured lease. Been able to delay their occupancy of the space because of construction renovation that is going on at Jenkins, but they were supposed to actually take occupancy back in December. So if we make the decision to not honor a fully executed lease, we may be in breach. So this one is a bit of an anomaly, but it was a agreed upon amount from the former city manager. So that's not a situation. Have a binding contract.
And given that we do have the binding contract, I still, and under this city manager, I still want us to adhere to whatever recommendations we got from the now. All I'm trying to say, if we're going to still talking what if we apply to first one manager, if it comes to the 1,800, as Mr. Cartwright is saying, then we should just put something there saying because of the services being brought to the community, we bring it down to that something 1,300. But if we have the executed thing, there's nothing I guess we can do. But go ahead.
Well, Commissioner Davis was waiting to speak on.
I'm gonna make a motion.
So sure. Well, Commissioner Boyle,
I'll let.
go ahead, make the
We'll have
motion.
discussion after.
Yeah, we
motion.
can have a discussion. Go ahead. Go ahead. and make the motion.
I move that we adopt resolution 2025-R-44.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioner Boyle.
Yeah, my comment was, just following up with, Attorney West, what she said about the contract was enforced back in December. Was that something that we had already voted on already?
I would need to take a look at how that was entered into, Commissioner, but that was the rate that was agreed to by Episcopalian Children's Services and the former city manager, and we do have an executed lease by both parties.
I hear what you're saying about an executed
Yes.
lease, but there's no city manager that can do that on their own without any movement from.
That's day to day.
From
Actually,
not
yeah.
making contracts. I mean, I guess people work.
Yes, actually, the city manager can enter into enforcing on property. Without permission, yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, we need to really look at that because if we got individuals who can enter into an agreement without commission approval. That's a problem. We got a loophole there.
That was,
That's what I'm.
Commissioner Campbell.
actually, at the
Manager
meeting, I
Candy.
brought that up at the meeting because I wanted to make sure that the direction we gave Mr. Cartwright would not come back to this point today. So I asked if we could make a motion on that we could because we were in a workshop. And then I specified that we are allowing the day-to-day operation to be done by the city manager and our department head. So I don't want it to get misconstrued. This was all clear and stated at the meeting, understanding that you were not able to attend the meeting. But we left that meeting with clear direction because I wanted to make sure that when Mr. Cutway walked away, that you had a sound advice as to what we can do to move this forward. So that's on the record, that's public record, so we are not doing anything. And plus, the conversations about Episcopal, this is not a new conversation. This
No.
conversation has come up before multiple times, as well as other individuals who have expressed interest in that. The reason I originally called for the workshop was because Mr. Cartwright was being met with different information by every administrator, which we've had during the duration of his time with the city of Palatka, so that as we move forward, he has a clear indicator of what he has the perimeter to do with, again, as a legislator, that is falling to the maintenance operations that we have in the state. If we want to create a policy, then we create policy. But still, when it comes down to certain things, I think there's a thin line between what we can do as elected officials and what we can't do. And these are one of those things that, again, it was brought up. That was the cup. So talk the way, expect direction, and that was it.
Commissioner Brown.
Well, I don't know what the conversation was going on. My question was the fact that I heard a contract was entered into back in December. I don't know all the rest of the offboarding conversation was going with that. My question was the contract that was executed by Mr. Bell during December. That was my comment. Nothing to do with what we've already discussed already. So.
And my
Thank you.
comment was my.
Is anybody else?
Yeah, I'm not done.
Commissioner Jones. What?
Oh.
Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Jones, go ahead.
I don't have an answer to that question, because you're saying about the contract is already ended. So why are we here? This contract is already have been entered into. Legally, we can't get out of a contract. So why is Mr. Cartwright making a presentation on a contract that's already been executed?
Because you.
Because this.
That's why I'm here. I didn't put it on. the agenda.
We shouldn't be taking action. We should not be taking action.
This was a topic for discussion at the workshop.
Yeah.
And guidance was sought from the commission. We did feel that it was prudent, given that civilian services did make a presentation at the workshop to address this, but we are in a binding contract.
So at this point, we have a motion and a second.
You're moving on, Mayor, without questions. So I said, the question is why? Commissioner Campbell saying day-to-day operations. If it's day-to-day operations, if that is gonna be the protocol or what we decide from now on, any contract between the city and citizens of Black, if they wanna rent a lease agreement, that could go to the department head or the city manager. City manager can have final say. We need to go ahead, like Mr. Moore, why we waste time and bringing it to the meeting? If that's what we're gonna do, that's the pleasure of this commission. It means that, I wanted to bring forth questions that have been asked of me. So if constituents ask me a question about lease agreements, I'm gonna bring it up here. As tired as you may be of hearing it and how many times it's been up here, if they want clarity, I'm bringing a point of clarity from this guidance. So, we're up here and the person have come to this meeting to hear a point be made or an explanation, that's what we're gonna give them. And again, city attorney, it would be nice to know these things. If we sit up here and two commissioners didn't know that it had been a lease agreement already. I'm just saying, well, three didn't know that a lease had been executed. Maybe these questions wouldn't be asked and we would look, there wouldn't be such a disconnect. So that would be important to know. This is not going against the government. This is going against what I was told when I heard of $9 per square foot, and then I come back today, $4 per square foot, how we can, no. So all of that is gonna come back in one form or fashion to us when someone else comes asking for the same leak. So are we gonna be consistent and have a same process? And no matter who, services is services, whether they are doing a concession stand for a ball team, and they wanna have rights to the concession, or whatever may come up. We need to have protocol and SOP, standard operation procedures of going forward versus it depends on who it is, depends on what service, depends on who like the organization or not. Okay, so that's what I'm asking. I think Commissioner Boyle asked a valid question. Well, without us knowing.
So for a little context here, the whole reason why this is in front of you is because you just had a workshop on Jenkins specifically, not regarding any other city-owned property that's leased on a regular basis. If we're talking about anything that you're in, so we're talking about Jenkins because it was the subject of the workshop. And we've had a lady from Episcopalian Children's Services come here and actually say that she was flexible on the number of office spaces that they would be willing to take on. They could go as low as 2. They are in a desperate situation right now. They do not have a home. They are basically homeless as an organization. They have counted on moving into Jenkins much earlier, but it was delayed because of construction. So the whole, just for context, this is here because of the workshop and guidance was thought from the commission and evaluate that guidance moving forward for other spaces.
Commissioner Brown.
Yes, I want to go ahead and get moving on it so we can get this behind us, but I don't think I'm voting on this because it's not something that's in my purview to vote on, so I have a wasted vote. So I can't vote on anything that I don't have it's not something that is in my wheelhouse, so there's no sense in me voting on what we have, a first and a motion and a second on.
Voting's not optional unless there is a reason to recuse yourself that you're gonna give.
Are you legally binded to vote on what's before us if it's not in your wheelhouse? That's my question.
Miss West?
Yes, unless you have a conflict where you have to recuse yourself from the vote, you must vote.
And FLC just did a webinar
On
last
that,
week.
yes, I'm more to.
Yep.
Just
Maybe.
Well, I understand that, but help me understand. The thing that's before us, you said that we have, the city manager has the freedom of latitude to do the contract. But you're putting before the commission to vote on, what if the commission would have decided no?
You have that option. I will have to deal with it on the tail end in terms of a breach and negotiating different terms with Episcopalian Children's Services. But if that's your prerogative, that is what I will have to clean up on the flip side.
I understand it, but what I'm saying is, it's just, it doesn't make sense, and I'll circle back around to it because it don't make sense.
Anybody else have any comments on this item? With that said, I'm gonna open the floor to public comment. Anybody have a public comment? Public comment, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition?
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Campbell,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Dillon,
Nay.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Nay, I don't have no voice on it.
Yes. Item 9, adopt 225 2025 R47 Community Affairs is requesting the naming of the Newtown Museum and Cultural Center be approved. You oppose this, Commissioner Jones?
So, my question is, maybe it was discussed before as well. Is that change the name to Jenkins Center or just a part or portion or something?
That is just the part, that is just the museum portion of Jenkins inside the square footage that you see on the slides, really appropriate. Would be. Yeah, keep on slide. That, where you see where the museum would go, that would be the name of that area right there.
There's no need to pull that. I mean, I just want to know what.
Yeah. We still gonna have a community involvement to kind of get a name for the Jenkins facility as a whole, but the Newtown Museum, they'll get.
Yeah, there's no need for that.
Thank you. Go ahead, Commissioner Davis.
I move that we adopt resolution 2025-R-47.
We have a motion and a second. Is anybody here for public comment? Staying on with public comment, all in favor? Any opposition? Thank you. Business. Reset. Or do you want to continue? Okay. From the business. Business, do we want to start? A discussion direction. Equipment replacement. No, we said no.
He just went to the bathroom.
Okay, well,
We good, yeah.
We taking the break or no?
Then I see people moving and leaving.
no, we're not taking a break. We're gonna keep on.
Yeah.
On going. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Garbacchio, did you talk to us about this?
Good evening, Board. So as we know, we're down to the park house. Yeah. Some of the old women equipment starting to get really bad. Some of it's falling out. We've removed some of it. We're just at a point where we'd like some direction, whether we'd like to renovate it back to how it was, or we'd like to find some possible modern designs and dungeons and stuff.
Patients working on it.
One or two.
Now, Parks is moved over to Mr. Cutler's department, but this is the project, the public works on work on, so we'd like to wrap it up and make sure we hand them over up to speed in the parks going forward. So that would be some of the new equipment that we're looking to put in. Change out from the wood type. There's so many different types of colors and stuff that we can choose from.
Right.
That's more, the woodsy type color. Actually, trees. Plant things for something. Lines, things that you should say. And there's a couple of the other fields that next week said. So whether we're going to do this, we did put in the budget for this year to change, replace, or repair all the equipment within this park to get us back up to speed. Now, I am talking with the people who put the original park stuff in, and assured us they're going to come and help us, but every step of the way, refinish the wood. If we do go back with the wood, that'll make it last longer. I just think that when it was originally done 7 years ago, they did not do their due diligence as far as protecting the wood and stuff, because it cannot be, no doubt, so it's not this beautiful. But the more minor stuff, I think, kids probably like that a little bit more. And it's funny, that's just an opinion. That's what we're like, guys.
And be respectable, but she'll have that type of name, accessibility, it's a disability. And just the some staff, there might be some.
There's the swing set will have accessibility.
Okay.
Further down, some of the additional, like the larger pieces like in there will also have some places for ADA accessibility. Regardless,
Zip
change
line.
or not.
But we're not sure. We just
Not
wanna
sure,
keep-
okay, I asked about the zip lines, I don't know.
You do have plans, even if we change, we have more modern, shorter the metal. It's easier to maintain, lower maintenance.
Right.
Okay, it's like a liability for this one. Because it's very popular with the.
Absolutely.
It is.
You can take everything else, but leave that zip line.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Yes, well.
All right.
Okay.
Any further questions? Okay,
So moving forward with it.
Yes, sir.
thank you.
What the record requires, restoring it to the.
No.
No.
Yes.
That's where we will get something from you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
We do have somebody, the public.
No, ma'am, it's on the next one, it's on B.
Okay. C, discussion direction request from centralized hospital to Dr. Chester to detour.
That is correct. Yes, FDOT has, the project off of Krill, the turn on Krill that takes off down into the city on Krill. FDOT is coming to do that project to remove that, to put up, balance, so the turn is just a turn, no longer able to utilize. They stop and be done for 50 miles an hour straight to 100 roads. It's an intention. I have FDOT is here. I may, they answer any questions that you may have about the project or what's going on. That's going up in beach.
No, but yeah, that would be great. And introduce yourself.
I'm Justin Garland, I'm a project development engineer for GOT, I'm a project manager and engineer for the Carolina Avenue and State Road 20 intersection closure process. What we are proposing to do, well, let me start off by telling you what we're gonna do. We're essentially going to basically take the curves on State Road 20 and Curl and Marsh Street and connect them to basically create a median between the two roads that effectively close down the intersection. We started this project back in November of 2023. With a concept we showed to you on PowerPoint and you guys agreed on to move forward with them. We have a meeting or calling me about in July 2024. It's really favorable, comments on the project, so move forward with it and we're designing right now. So basically what we're looking at is whenever we close down the intersection, we include an inlet for drainage on State Road 20. So effectively we have to dig on the thing, but we're looking at maintaining traffic while we do that. We originally looked at keeping traffic on State Road 20, keeping 2 lanes open while we do that. It didn't work because we'd have to get on 2 10-foot lanes, and with the sharp curve there, we have some concerns about safety issues. So that's why we're proposing the detour. So the detour plan that we're proposing is basically we can cut down State Road 20 and detour traffic onto 13th Street and Bar Street. To basically effectively close from State Road 20 from 13th Street to Bar Street while we do the work. Bar Street and Krill Avenue will also need to be closed down there at the intersection point. Just to get them through the work with contractors, it's basically what we're doing. So that's one of the project and the tour plan.
It is not to me. To do this is going logistically with all the trucks that come down, really hit that curve that have come trained to us. It's going to be on the road, we know that, but they are, and how one of the trucks that they get stuck down in the bay. So, I just want to cut off to get to okay, but you know, we want to get them to turn left, even those
Yes, ma'am.
trucks at that blinking light before you get to the train overpass.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's.
turn left on 13th Street. Bar.
Okay.
You get back to there.
Yeah, well,
That's all we do that.
well, it's a need, but it's just gonna be interesting to see how that plays. I mean, when I so I see all these trucks come through, how they deal with that. That's really interesting. Any questions?
Yeah, I mean, he said they're turning on 13th Street.
Yeah, with the, you know, it's called, well, yeah, you know.
Is that enough clearance in there? 13th?
Well, the
to go
trucks
there?
are not supposed to be there, but they.
They have the signs that they'll throughout the state, tell them to take steroids. If you're concerned about the radius zones, we did look at those. We also, first house direction, we coordinated with them, we put some channelizing devices along the curbs to basically give people like the awareness that there's a curve there, to make sure that they, obviously do not enter the cost of the activity.
Okay, yeah, we know, it's gonna be.
I'm just concerned about that, right, turning on South 13th. It's gonna be, it's not gonna be good. We have a problem from even 13th all the way out to where, was it Huck? Right now, it's to have problems coming off from crossing 19, up from 20, crossing 19, or coming 19. North, making it on Eastern Home 20. And then they used to have, that's why they end up with the sign, no through trucks or whatever, the truck route. Continue on down to one. And that's what we just celebrated that last year by the King and the we celebrated that, and so now we're still gonna be full of traffic down that same area. That's, but anyway, still going to, if they can even turn right there on Creek. Right, that'd be an easier job.
But then getting people from, well.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not my concern.
It would make a longer teaching route. to do it that way.
When it's more safety for our residents here. It's more safety for our residents, and then we just came to Tallahassee talking about how our roads would be such. Yeah, state. We just put money back last year, $1 million to start doing our infrastructure. So to continue to send these big trucks that already deteriorating roads, it's gonna further deteriorate what we currently have. And we just about to talk about that the last 3 days.
Yes, sir, I understand your concern,
And the safety piece.
yes, sir, I understand that too,
Well, I think you're kind of stuck and I
Yeah,
understand, stuck in the middle of the final solution to do this.
Constructability
Yeah.
challenges we're running into.
Yeah, we want the traffic, it's just like, here's
It is a temporary condition.
here's my point. You now you're closing off from Creel, when you get to Creel and 9, you're closing it off so they can't go through the South Historic District.
Well, that's what
But
the husband's
now,
gonna do.
Yes, sir.
now you're rerouting it, you're sending them up on South 13th and you're sending them across to Reed. And so that's my problem.
Yeah.
And so in my opinion, I think they should go further up so that they can be on a road that the trucks could be on. Closing off one area, closing off. You're gonna close that off so that they can't go in the neighborhood. But then they still gonna go through a neighborhood just a little bit further up west. That's my concern.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I don't know if there's another solution. Go ahead. Sometime.
So you said the detour will be longer. Are you under some obligation to create shorter detours?
Yeah,
I mean,
we want to make it as short as possible because we obviously do not like the detour traffic. We can help it. This is just a special case for, this is the only option.
It's time. How long do you
What
estimate the
period of
project
time?
will take? Yeah.
The time of the project?
Yes.
We're estimating construction will take 50 days. That includes weather days as well.
So I'm in agreement with Commissioner Bora. I mean, we're begging for money to fix our streets now. And I agree, from one neighborhood to another neighborhood. I almost want to say, yeah, and let the first truck come and maybe he can tell his buddies, don't come because it's too tight. But take the risk because I don't think it's fair to our residents. I'm just not going more. I know we got solution. I'm just not faithful to that solution.
I'm only gonna say this because I understand the rules, because that's the least of my worries. At any given time throughout the day, after the school hour, where you ride down 13th Street, you see kids on both sides of the road. That's my overall concern, that with the through traffic and semi trucks, that it's something just bound to happen. And if we can prevent it from happening, we don't want something to happen, and then we look into it. And I think that's where the concern is. Again, the roads is least of our worries, because that's one of the reasons they break down. But I want to make sure that it was taken consideration if you ride down, especially once you make that left off of Creel, the whole, just about right side, once you pass all the city stuff, they have kids that are outside at any given time. And I'm talking about one or two, I'm talking about groups of kids. So I'm gonna have them take into consideration. I care less about the roads at that point. I care. So.
With that, I don't know, again, the ban on the detour. um, That would be, sounds real. I do really want the trucks to stop coming down that stretch, but I don't know how, everything you've done and everything you tried was still getting as many or more. It just doesn't seem to alleviate the issue, because I think they're cutting through to get to St. John's, St. Augustine. Then GPS maybe telling it's more speed route, but I don't know how I can do anything about that. That's the problem. The real problem is still the trucks and people speed and trucks coming through where they don't belong into a neighborhood, period. I don't, I'm sorry. I know it's just, yes, 1 minute, Mr. Kitchens. Give me a minute, please. Yes, I don't have any other thought. I know we're just kind of hinting at, but I don't know what other thoughts from detour. You could think a little.
Signs, we're supposed to address that.
I-
To a certain extent, it's just a matter of, how much.
And the GPS, like, getting Google and GPS reprogram to redirect the trucks, like that has been successful.
But I looked into that, I mean, I don't know the status of it. It's just a matter of engaging those companies to get on to update their software.
Thank you. Well, the commission obviously has overall concerns about the speed limit, which is what we're here for. And just another, we can come up with another alternative for everybody, where we send everybody from 19 around. I mean, it's a long detour that affects the businesses, so,
Yeah,
yeah, just think now. Anybody else have any solutions? Good solutions?
Solution, maybe you have law enforcement help you out and get around to say, hey, road work ahead, yeah, detour the traffic. Sound like a logical explanation to me, it's something to do.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna have, all the signs out, telling people beforehand that, the detour's gonna be there. We're gonna put portable message signs out there to close it, just letting people follow them. Then, within 2 weeks, the traffic patterns will change and there's gonna be detour, disruption, so.
Do we have any thoughts? Whether you want to. I got Commissioner Jones' suggestion about marketplace trustee.
Glad you asked.
Wow.
You've been battling the trust situation for years.
Come on.
We having this one with the traffic with the new signs and. That's not an issue, especially when we have the 13th. Right now, then turning on is adopting style. Traffic going east and west, for that truck to turn on 13th Street.
Not
I
gonna
don't think that's gonna be safe at all. That's the issue I agree with Commissioner Cameron. Finding the minimums is a tremendous amount of juvenile, play that's going on in the. We just adjusted the traffic, pattern for 13th Street, St. John's, as you, which it helps address a lot of traffic accidents that we've had at 13th Street long stop. So quite a bit of adjustment in the amount of vehicle traffic that right through and the size of the vehicle traffic that's going to come through. I do agree with the concerns regarding the length of the detour. I think the length of the detour would better affect the flow of traffic and how we address the issues that it's going to cause within the neighborhood.
Turning.
Correct.
Is a
Okay, just
coming from Trails Palm, direct the traffic when you're going west on Reed up to Palm.
That's the only,
And I can definitely go back to the drawing board and speak of one, how vulnerable that is. Changing the
Thank
detour, or potentially putting some signage on that, pulling a green, just letting people know that there needs to be structure on that.
They have to be full, yeah.
Alternative.
Yep.
Yeah, and we can do that.
Okay. Good. Any other questions?
We appreciate you for taking that into consideration.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Chief, sir. Miss. Miss.
Allegra Kitchens, Palatka, Florida. 2 points, or several points actually. First of all, at the last meeting where the city commission discussed this and DOT made their presentation, not the previous workshop, but the last meeting, the late Robert Beaton was standing up to make a comment because Mr. Beaton, his brother, Larry Beaton, was against this, and Robert Beaton was against it, but no public comment was asked for, so he wasn't allowed to speak. And he left and then consequently died. But that's he went right to the corner. The other thing, you put a detour sign, then to say the underpass is closed. Because they specify the underpass is closed, and that's the way the trucks go across the railroad tracks to the underpass. The other thing is not down South 13th and Car. Mr. Campbell was correct, 13th is gonna be done, but guess what? There's a daycare center at the corner of 13th and Car. There's a daycare center at the corner of 10th and Car. And that little, with that turn, it's down Lake Road 100 or down 19. As far as it's not that big of a land. Seriously, people think. You see how fast it's going? Pretty wrong. And 19 has Lake Road 1. Really? So that could be an issue. So I think got it probably close to concern. But it's not the same time. Well, that stuff is from but don't be in the car. That's early. It's going to be dangerous. Because that's a residential neighborhood. That's not the world. So you are to say no. Say no. Don't tell me you want to Street, 13th Street. Let it find something else.
Thank you. Anybody? Public comment in this regard? Say no. Public comment? Okay. D, discussion direction five to the Blue Patch Festival to be cleaned up. DBN not qualified tax control for additional $12,000 by the city. Mr.
Yes, normally, the Blue Crab organization included pays for fireworks. They contract with them. But city is so responsible that they don't have also, all the prior text said if we wanted to keep those big dates, we would try to do it for 12,000. We wanted to have fireworks.
Comments?
Well, I just say my piece. When they give up Ms. Sally, the funds we had requested, and it was all inclusive, all prior Blue Crabs, and initially paying the name for 50, gave her the 50. Yes. Then she initially requested for 75, and we settled on 50. And we had the fireworks, no problem. Now she has bumped it up from not only 75, now she had went and got another 38,000. So now she got a $88,000 contract, and we don't have no fireworks. And now you're asking the city to add on an additional 12,000. I gotta say no. I'm gonna say no to it.
And I think the additional money is for the city services that we did agree.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify it, that the 38,000 is the city services.
But it's still money, still money.
It's still money that has to be paid in the event, in the, put on the event normally pays for all that. So let's take on the pig, it's no pig.
Yes, thank you.
Commissioner Davis.
I move that we do not have city paid for fireworks at the 2025 Blue Crab Festival.
A second.
We have a motion, second, any further discussion?
I don't want that, this is where I'm staying. I'm for it, but is there any kind of campaign that we possibly can take in consideration to get members of our community to see if we can make this happen? It's a major part of the Credit Festival. I agree with all that we have expended, extra that is not being at the cost of the city, but I wanted to take into consideration the ability to have outside organizations help with making this. And I'll be one of the first ones to or give my commissioner salary, commissioner.
I understand what you're saying.
My commission event funding to go to. That's place. It's part, and that's something that I need everyone to enjoy fireworks. So every time we have fireworks, 9 times out of 10 the crowd is. So again, I'm taking into consideration if other outside organizations help us at the conversation.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second not to have the city pay for this, which is well. And. Any opposition? Thank you.
May I have clarity, please? Commissioner, if you could allow, me to tell me how much you take from special.
If we allow the community to come in, and whatever amount is not raised, I would take it in consideration.
Yes, thank you.
What was originally, the consent agenda, item 9, was requested for regular business, and it's still not happening. I keep doing that, it's just different hearing, okay, sorry. Two public hearing. 2025 rezoning property intersection of St. John's Avenue, develop from single family south into multi-family residential on 3, second reading. Second.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Does anybody have a public comment on this item? Thank you. Public comment, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Thank you. What is establishing the Cypress Landing Townhouse? My second reading. Any questions? Comments?
Motion to approve.
Anybody here for public comment on this item? Seeing no public comment, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Ordinance 2025-3, annexation of property located at 1604 Hudson Ave, the corporate limits of the city of Palatka. Second reading, any discussion or questions? No.
Second.
The motion was second. Anybody here for public comment on this item? Same. Public comment, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Ordinance 2025, property located at 1604. Lots of county civil council. The city of Palatka single family residential area. Second reading. With a motion.
To approve, motion to approve.
Second. Motion second. Public comment. Thank you. Close public comment. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Ordinance 24-08, rezoning property located at Azalea Place subdivision phase 2. There's no Kelly Smith school. City of Palatka commercial to City of Palatka residential single family. All in one. First reading. Second says first. Okay.
Motion to approve.
Motion. Okay, the motion approved. Second. Second. Well, anybody have public comment on this one? We'll close public comment. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposition?
Nay.
2, 3. 3 in favor. On to F, 2025-10, school zones speed fraction program, second reading.
Motion to approve.
We have a second for public comment. Seeing none, Public comment, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Ordinance 2025-06, annexation of property located at 5019 Quayle into the property of the city of Palatka, Florida, first reading. Mr. Gah.
Yes.
Can you pull the slides, please?
In the presentation.
Request for annexation.
That's the one that was pulled. I think you ought to have a letter on that.
Yeah.
5019.
Annexation, the
Yes, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. This is not told yet.
It's the same address.
That's the same parcel.
Okay, what does the letter say? I, H-A and K, is that the?
Yeah, it's the same address.
The same address.
So what's different here?
It's an H-I-J.
It looks like H-I-J and, yeah.
But G is,
I. Stick clerk to the phone. Yeah, it's H-I. Looking at the address. Commissioner knows. what-
Yeah. This is down, it's requested. They're going along.
So it's GHI, and there was a request to pull them by the applicant.
Sorry, why is he just getting?
We just got it today. I was just getting to meet today. It was just going to it's like 5:30.
Well, it's requesting to continue. To the scheduled meeting.
Right, right.
Okay.
But to pull to this agenda, yes.
All right.
I make a motion that we,
GHI.
do we, Madam Esquire, should we table? Or, because I know there's certain parts of certain things that we.
Right, if you continue, they're not going to have to re-advertise, so there's a
Correct.
benefit to continuing.
I make a motion that we continue items G, H, and I to our next. Commission meeting.
Your motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. Sure. Ordinance 2012. What's it called? Into the partnership.
Yes, this is a request for annexation for the purpose of obtaining city border services. It's a single family home. The criteria for annexation that's specified in Florida statute. It was reviewed by the planning board. And staff is not. The answer is here, so one of question.
The applicant is here. Okay. Come here.
Depends on the question.
Does anybody have any questions?
But I can comment on a quick question.
Please.
Is there a requirement that the applicant is at those ratings? We're gonna be out of the country because month of April, so I'm only gonna be.
You're fine with the first reading.
Okay, all right, very good. So it'll just continue normally.
Yes, yes, you'll be all set after
Okay,
this.
thank you.
Do we have a motion? Second. We have a motion second. Here for public comment. Saying not to close public comment. All in favor? Position? Thank you. What, 2025 through 2 of the future use map, the adopted comprehensive plan. That's my street. From reserve to.
That is correct. Yes, it's the same property. It's the first one and the only reading.
Yeah.
This is a future land use amendment. It's a small scale plan amendment requires only.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to second. We have a public comment on this item. Close public comment, all in favor? Any opposition? Thank you. Ordinance 2025-14, reserve property located on 692 North from Putnam County. Reserve, registered. 2. No. Residential. First reading.
To our one,
Or city property.
yes.
Okay. Motion to approve. Second. Anybody have a comment? Say public comment, all in favor? Aye. Any? Next. Thank you. M, ordinance 2025-17, amendment of official staff of the adopted concrete of place done to property located at 122 12th Street from city of facilities. Just the residential media. First. Mr. Hall.
Yes, like you mentioned, this is a request to change the future land use designation and also to rezone the property. The applicant is asking to rezone it to R2 because it intends to build no place on the property and the current zoning does not allow.
Is the applicant?
Approximately, it's 0.39 acres. That is okay. It's about 200 feet from property. This request was considered by the planning board on February 4th and then on March 4th for this year and the recommended approval of both requests. This is under
Okay.
the application meets the requirements for the land use and staff for both requests. But that recommends approval to the land use map and then the corresponding sorry. This is here.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions of the applicant?
No.
Oh, I apologize, he's not here.
He's not here, okay.
He was here.
He was.
No, but I do have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner Long.
But, I don't have a, question on that particular thing, but I do have a comment about our, as a piecemeal, our annexation, and, we talked to the previous city managers, looking at a comprehensive way of bringing people, people who, are just, it's jagging and we're having to provide police and fire and additional services to those areas where we're bringing people in. I mean, so what I'm gonna ask for is I like to see our comprehensive plan. And also, we need to see everything that we're looking at and how things are coming in so that we can look at ways to start to bring people in, with use instead of being spot.
Right, so that it's more contiguous.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, we're putting more stress on our law enforcement and firefighters.
Yes.
For these different people. So we got to do it more strategic way.
Is this property contiguous?
This property is within the city. This is not annexation.
I know.
Like he's talking about the general
Yes, he's talking
issue
about.
annexation.
Yeah.
In general, you're talking about in general.
Commissioner, there is a tool in the forest statutes
Right.
for what you proposing. And
Right,
that's
yeah.
ISBA, which is an advanced agreement, which is a plan between the city and the county and plan for the county.
Right.
It has to be initiated by the city.
Okay.
We need to pass the solution, deep process, and then sit down with the county and get an agreement. And put it on the first.
Yes, sir.
The applicant is here now.
Do we have any questions of the applicant?
I don't have a question.
Would you like to come up?
Yes. Yeah.
Mr. Crowe, please give us your name. And
Sorry, a little out of breath. President Sloan, nice to meet you.
city of residence, please.
City Resident, St. Augustine, Florida.
Okay, thank you.
I interested in rezoning this parcel. And, provided two renderings of potential models that I would interested in create this parcel if I'm successful.
Thank you. Any questions?
Well, thank you for providing the renderings, because my question was going to be, would the duplex fit into the existing aesthetic of the neighborhood?
Yes, certainly. I'm would like to maintain the aesthetic as much as possible. And that's why I provided the two renderings to honestly ask the commission between the two, which they're.
They're two different stuff.
Yes.
Yes, it's true. Have they seen it? They've all heard it.
Any comment, they're both very nice.
Oh,
They'll
okay.
fit in any neighborhood, and we happen to have something like that.
We appreciate.
Thank
Yeah.
you. The visuals are always helpful.
Thank
Thank you.
For providing that.
I don't think we have any further questions. Do you have any further questions?
Not for this applicant, but for planning director after.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost to I had notes about the annexation and one of my questions are we or can we look into parcels being parcels receiving city services? For those services without annexation. And I was asked this question, at a business owner, was like, they have.
Water service.
Water source, but they don't. To the city, for obvious reason, they would have to be double taxed.
Sure.
We have to pass it. I think that's when, I mean, the office is on. With the city already. So, but I think they've already had conversation with you. And, so Eddie, like, his office is to. The city, but not
Right.
annexed for the double taxation. What
If,
are we doing to try to?
well, if it is.
We're in the middle of though, no, we've got to finish this process first.
Did we?
We didn't go yet. We've got to finish this process.
Okay, so my motion to approve as ordinance, the last ordinance, 2518, is that?
2025.
17, we're on
2518, pardon me?
We're on 17.
2517, I'm sorry.
Second.
We have a motion, second, anybody here for public comment? Come up, Miss.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Kitchens, Palatka, Florida, and I spoke at the planning board on this. I have no problem with the duplex. What I have a problem with is what city commissions have had a problem with since at least 1987, and that's what we call spot zoning. While it may not meet the legal definition of spot zoning, this is an open residential neighborhood. You're changing one small lot to R2. That's been a precedent. R2 is medium density, R1 is low density. So you're setting a precedent that any other neighborhood, somebody come in and want a medium or a large density project, you have one lot right in the middle of a neighborhood, different density, and I think comes in spot zoning. Spot zoning. Yeah, the problem is that every first thing around it was built and expected a couple of them, and so just down from the big Cooper. But I have no objection to the project, the duplex, but I have an objection to multi-family zoning and dropping the single family zoning, because I live in single family zoning. And if this happens in my neighborhood, I really don't want to have to expense hiring an attorney to fight it. Thank you.
Thank you. And for public comment, being now public comment. We have a motion, a second.
Well, I got a question. With that being said, you know, and that's a good point, and that's when we see this, it is a duplex, and if it's in that's why I say I like to see the comprehensive plan or the zoning, whenever we have stuff like that, so we know if we're mixing something else in, former commissioners, spoke, it brought to my attention in terms of like spots. That's what I'm trying to get down with the Jackley annexation, and that's kind of what we're on. So we got not only the annexation, but the spots.
Right, this is not an annexation though.
And it's not, this
No,
is,
this
it's
is
not,
in the city,
Right.
you know, there's no
right,
annexation.
but that the spot zoning is what.
And the spot zoning, this is not a spot zoning.
That's what I was.
That's not a
clarifying,
definition
right.
of spot zoning. Plus, the area is a mixed use area.
Okay.
If you know, you have
If you go
commercial,
down to it.
right across the street is the guards, you know, the National Guard.
Okay.
I believe in my estimation that, putting a duplex will actually improve the neighborhood.
Okay, but I mean,
It fit, you know, with what is surrounding to it.
right,
This is not a well-defined, community character, but it's subdivision.
okay,
That would have been totally different. If you're supposed to be very established, long-established residential neighborhood, with the community character, and I would agree that the R2 probably would fit.
And there are a couple of multi-families at the start of Twin prior to getting to Ravine on the same side of the road.
right.
Yeah.
And that's
So
why,
it is a mix.
yeah, and that's why I like to kind of see it on the map, to kind of know what's contiguous and close around it, so, yeah.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Thank you. 125 dash 2, rezoning property, same property, in May 22 Twig from residential single family. To two families in residential rear to first meeting. So it's the same property.
That's correct.
Do we have questions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anybody have a comment on this? Yes, ma'am. Come up, Ms. Kitchens.
I won't repeat what I previously said about it, but I do have a problem with, multifamily being put in single family zoning, whether you call it spot zoning, you call it the mega zoning, it's still the same thing. However, the apartment corner in 15th and Twig Street happens to have been great. Of course, Andy has an apartment, the long before Andy came in, which was 1979. And it's still residential zoning. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion. Second, please have a comment. Ms. Kitchens. Thank you. All in favor?
Somebody raise their hand.
Public comment, we're all set, Mr. Sloan. Aye, any opposition? Thank you. Commissioner comments?
We got more items.
One more
We
item.
got
That's exciting.
Sorry, there we from the consent agenda to regular. Aid adopt resolution 2025.
Right.
Mr.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a request for, this is a final plat of, the subdivision, square woods gate. That's by the planning board, approval. That's for a plat, for a plat, it's not. There's not planning, split plat. Of course, family. Motion.
We have a motion. We have a motion. Second, does anybody have a public comment on this? There are no public comments. All in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Everybody has to vote. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner comments?
I just have one quick comment, and I know, we spoke to it, but I just got a few communications between this meeting and our last meeting with regards to our sound as it is being, and sound and visual, it's horrible. It sounds as if multiple people are talking.
Yeah.
So I want us to be mindful and to proceed forward, especially if that's something. We want to go. The audio.
Yes.
But I think that's but our previous
Before.
meeting, so I just want us to take into consideration of video and sound as we progress forward.
Thank you. Several.
Yes. We did too.
Does anybody else have any comments?
I do.
Oh, go ahead.
I want, since the plan director's gone, I would like to actually get the blessing of the commission to actually look into, have the city manager look into, as we talk about from septic sewer project, to see if there is a way that we can actually accommodate, property that just want to be city, or city water and sewer, but do not want to. And I mean, just see how that would work, can we make that happen? And without patience.
We do have that already in place. The connection agreement that we have for water and sewer connection.
Right.
Yes,
But
and
that-
yeah.
Right, that's that surcharge, yeah.
That's how you.
So, again, so my question, so you answered, you kind of answered my question, but you're not.
Yes, sir.
So I know that what's in place is, the agreement says that you get it, but if in fact it comes close or it's available, they must actually.
And it's, right, it does.
I ain't talking about not annexing and receiving
Right.
services.
Okay,
So.
I will pursue that and we'll come back with the report as
You're right.
recommended. or
That's what I'm
requested.
asking.
I
And I
understand.
want to know, and I hope that the commission is friendly to that, because it
Yes.
goes back to Commissioner Bourne. We have areas in the Rolling Hill area, and we're gonna do this lighting project. Well, they're gonna, some people that's in the county is gonna benefit from us lighting it up. And we're paying them. And I think it would actually be benefit, if you try to get those folks to get city services, at least get $30. They might not wanna be double taxed, but actually they might water.
Yes.
So I think it's an appetite for it, because people would want water, but not double tax. And, cool. So,
We will follow up with that.
thank you.
Thank you.
And have that. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments?
Yeah, I had a couple here. Just want to let everybody know, over the past week, we've had a lot of visits to different places and I've been tour. So I've been to Tallahassee. We went to Road County Days. Had some very fruitful meeting with legislators, advocating for priorities, water lines, as well as our roadways. Is just a combination of things that we've been working on. So Road County Days, I never missed meeting there since Bobby Payne been on it for about 7 years. And so that's where you go to showcase your city. In this case, city of Palatka, we are the Blue Crab as well as the bass capital of the world. That's what we did. We took our stuff up there and we showcased it. The county was there as well, so we got about 30 small rural counties throughout the state. Make up quite a bit of the GDP for the area for the state. So made contact with a couple of people there, Amarkali Water and Sewer. They had like a system that they would allow for you to locate water line breaks and different things of that nature. So I got a couple cards I'd like to pass on to you so that we can make connection with that. They're supposed to be reaching out or what have you. So if you want, I'll get all of these taken care of. So we had some fruitful conversation with a lot of other rural county individuals who showcase their things. Some people bring in their strawberries. They have different things that they bring to the rural county. So that was very fruitful. I have been elected to the Florida League of Cities Board of Directors. Got appointed to that board on Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Wednesday, yesterday morning. So got elected to that board that oversees the overall Florida League of Cities and all of your operations and budgets and all that. So as part of that, coming out of that meeting, we have 5 scholarships that's available to individuals who are pursuing bachelor's, master's, PhD. It's called Public Service Pathways Scholarship. So it's $5,000 scholarships that's available. And I'll turn that over to you, Ms. Carter, so you can put that in the record. And you can share that, have people put that out. And make sure that we get this money to people who are truly deserving of that. We want to make sure that Putnam County represent very well in that regard. They also highlighted and showed that, and
have it,
Funding the city's president's initiative.
okay.
So basically, a lot of
What's-
people
what's
don't
the
know
like?
that. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. They know the president,
Mhm.
they know the governor, but they don't know local elected officials. And so
Okay.
that right there is kind of helping highlight and show what we do every day. We touch people's lives every day. Last but not least, they also have funding available in rural Renaissance, which is a $50 million initiative that the senators are pushing very hard for rural counties. And they also have like another $1 million that's available for rural counties who have started to lose population. So there's another $1 million on top of that. So that's what I've kind of been blessed with. And last not least, but we're gonna take about 40 students to the Magic Game on April 8th. Coming up, and we're gonna have about 10 chaperones that we're gonna be taking down to. This is our 7th year. We did 5 years with the Magic, and we did 2 years with the Jaguar. So that's the experience that we are in. We try to have with these young people that sometimes never leave Putnam County. So that's what I have to present. Now, if anybody want to give $1,000, we got about $1,200 that we normally provide to the students. Across the board, we give about $25 per student. Last year, Mr. Bell graciously, his father gave $1,000.
Yep.
And all the funds that were not encumbered, I returned them. And I had a young lady who did she was my treasurer, so and she handled the money well. I requested we to return that money. That's all I.
And is that to a PAL? That going to the event? There was no.
No, we got the Palatka High School.
Okay.
Palatka High
Didn't know
School.
PAL was involved. Just asking.
Yeah, so
Clarification, that's fine.
Palatka High School. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Commissioner.
It is actually through PAL.
That's what I thought, but I know.
No, this is not through PAL. This is.
No? Okay,
this is
come
not-
on, come on.
You gotta come on, but we
Come on.
actually,
Come up,
for
Chief,
sure,
please.
we already have.
Sorry.
We have a,
Asking for clarification.
well, I just let you answer, but it's not through PAL.
Correct, it's not. This has been a venture that's been sponsored by Pistero and company,
That's right.
PAL, the high school, and then other youth throughout the community that's involved in the reach out to fight to attend the trip.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thanks, sir.
Commissioner Davis, do you have anything?
No, I think Commissioner Borum covered it well for us. We had a very productive trip to Tallahassee and it was a nice wrap up, Commissioner.
But you talk about it, somebody, we did a really good job and all of them. All of the.
You did a great job recapping.
What I will say that Mr. Commissioner Borum is that we did have a very productive trip for legislative days. Typically go and advocate on other people's students. But it's very helpful to us that we were able to meet with legislators for the city of Palatka. And I had about 8 meetings or so. And they were very, very productive. So I can tell you that Tallahassee, the city of Palatka, they understand their priorities. And we are doing any, every, and all avenues for our city to be better and support from the state of Florida.
And what did the legislators say? That if you don't have any money, basically don't come and ask for money. If you're not contributing, and again, we have positioned the city to be in a very good place. And so we want to continue that. We have $1 to give and they can match that. That's what they look for, matching money.
Thank you.
I just real quickly want to say, for those of you, we went to rural county days and it was a great support between the city of Palatka and the county. I want that relationship to be the same way to Putnam County. So I want us to again reach out, make sure that there's an opportunity, even if we extend them the hand to come to chambers, that we need to have a meeting with the county so that we can make sure that some of the things or some of the meetings that we've had, that we all can be on the same page as we go to Tallahassee and represent the different municipalities, but represent each other as a whole.
Yes. And we have started that process.
We are.
Oh, yes, sir, I'll push it.
To have that meeting, but we have something specific to focus on, you have some outcomes from it that are time certain, that have a time element.
You're
I
absolutely
think
right.
that's what we need to do.
Right.
And not a lot, that we need to stop starting, so we stop.
Right.
As you said, we need to get going.
But to Mayor, we also had things that we talked to them before, talking points that we need to come back and revisit. And one of them would be, and I won't belabor the point, but one of them was to help support we still have overlapping services with, so that's one, at least one of them.
Thank you. Yeah, do we have a motion to adjourn?
No.
Thank you. Now you can leave.